Welcome to Comic Book Chatter, the show where we are talking all things in the world of Marvel, DC, and whatever else is in the multiverse. I'm Mike. Joining me is a great group of dudes here. Joel, how you been? What's going on?
Not much. It's gonna be fun to talk some comics. I rarely get to do that on here. I do it on chat a lot, but we rarely get to do it like vocally. I guess
Yeah,
verbally.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
fun.
yeah. This is gonna be fun. If you guys don't know, if you're new, we usually talk Marvel movies, DCU movies, shows on the Chatter After, on various other podcasts. Here specifically, though, we are doing a comic book show just so we can get into all the nerdy little details that you guys may not be familiar with. Or if you're reading comics, great. Tell us what you're reading in the comments down below. Cliff, welcome. How you doing, man?
I'm chilling. I'm excited. I've got a lot of comic book thoughts in my head, as y'all already know, based on our chats to begin with. But yeah, man, I'm always excited to talk about just the nitty gritty about just the source material and just what's happening in the community in the space and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm glad that we have this show specifically now built into our block of programming that we do because I was talking to some old Collider friends yesterday, actually, and we were talking about Clayface, right? And this idea of the DCU movies and like Clayface is a completely different tone from Superman, and how does that work, and how will that make sense? And I'm like, well, it's just like a comic book, right? You can have the Killing Joke, but then you can have Mark Waid's World's Finest, right? And it all exists within like the same continuity. And in that entire conversation, my buddy Robert, Cliff, you've done a podcast with Robert before with our movie drafts. He was like, "You recommending World's Finest is the best thing that came out of that conversation." Because he's like, "What do you mean? There's an era where Superman and Batman are teaming up, and Dick Grayson's Robin, and Supergirl pops up, and then there's like these crazy powers and abilities that we don't ever really see like come to fruition in that book." And it's like, yeah, comics are sick. The movies are never going to do anything like that, but comic books are sick. So I'm glad we can shed light on that and hopefully pitch that to some of the movie folks who watch us. And it's like, hey, if you like Scarlet Witch, there are some great books for you to check out starring Scarlet Witch until she gets back into the MCU. This is directly meant for Trayvon if he ever watches this video.
We just trying to get Trayvon to read a book. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the Boondocks. Read, nigga, read. No, but I did want to ask you guys. This is gonna just be like the main question that I'm gonna ask every episode of this show. We're gonna do this monthly. It's like a monthly poll list. What have you been reading? I'll start with you, Joel. What you been reading lately?
Yes, I've been reading a lot of Absolute. I've been reading. I picked up. What's it called? Guardians of the Imperial Guardians or whatever. That one. I forgot what it's called.
Okay.
Imperial Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that one. It has something like that. That one. I picked that
It's
one up.
a Guardians of the Galaxy book.
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay.
Because Gamora is the lead, or one of the leads, and then there's like it's a very weird assortment of team. Like the team is very weird. It has Captain Marvel in it. It has fucking Cosmic Ghost Rider in it, and they call him Francis. Very weird. What else am I reading? I read all the Avengers and Justice League books, or whatever, like Justice League Unlimited and Avengers proper. I collect those. JSA I read. Um, Static, Batman Beyond Static, that one. Static Beyond,
Yeah.
whatever that one. That combo, I read that. Of course, I'm currently getting through the Swamp Thing.
Like the classic Alan Moore Swamp Thing.
That version because I wanted to read that. I was going through all the comics from that he listed that might be
Your
important down
DCU
the line.
prep.
Yeah, my DCU prep. So I'm reading Swamp Thing, and I also have Berserk on the back there. I think, no, is it called Berserk?
Berserk, like the manga?
No. Is it called Berserk? The one with Keanu Reeves, the comic.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, Berserker.
Berserker? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not. It's there.
BRZKR.
Okay, yeah, you're correct. That one. So that I have that sitting there, still not ready yet.
Gotcha. Is any of those like the book that you're obsessed with? I guess is my question. Which one are you like? Oh, I can't put this down. I need the next issue now.
Ooh, that's tough.
As I know, the absolutes are always going to keep our attention. We'll dive deep into that specifically in a little bit.
As a whole,
yeah.
Oh man, I don't even know if Absolute Green Arrow is that this week. I don't remember.
I think
I
that's
know.
this week actually.
I think it's next month, May.
Is it?
Next, it's in
'Cause
May.
I
Yeah.
kept seeing it promoted, so I wasn't sure it was out yet. Oh, I also read the current Ninja Turtle run because I feel like I missed out on the last run, and I don't know if I feel like going back yet to read the last run. You know what I mean?
TMT
Um,
is always an underrated book, dude. It's
yeah,
always
it's
so much
weird.
fun.
What they're doing right now is fucking weird, but I'm digging it a little bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm not really obsessed with anything specifically. They just finished the big KO event for DC,
Yeah,
and they're going into I think it's called Armageddon for Marvel. So I look forward to reading that stuff. So that's where I'm at right now.
nice, nice. Cliff, what about you? What's going on? What's consuming your life right now?
Oh, so many things. But the most recent book, actually, I just finished it yesterday. Wow. It's book 8 or the penultimate book of the manga series Alice in Borderland. I got one more book after that, and then I will have finished the entire series, and I've been reading it for about 2 years now. A year shorter than like how long I've been reading Power Rangers, essentially.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's my current obsession because I've just made it a goal of mine to read one manga series before. Like, I just wanted to read my first manga series ever and whatnot, and actually experience. Hey, this is what it feels like reading, you know, Japanese comic books, and that I can just have a better informed opinion. But yeah, that book series is great. It's a lot of fun. Just a whole series focused on just like the meaning of life and what every character and every person's perception and perspective about life is. You know, what's worth living, what's not worth living. You know, how much effort you put into things. You know, and the constant cycles of like, hey, I'm going to rise above my problems and push forward, and then I'm knocked back down again where I just want to give up, and then that rinse, wash, and repeat cycle, essentially. But yeah, outside of that, I've been my brain has been like everywhere with comics currently. You know, reading current Nightwing, reading that Lobo compendium. You know, I'm halfway through Power Rangers after having started that book series in December 2022, early 2023. I still got like 7
Man,
books
you've
of
been
those
on like
left.
4 years of Power Rangers. Jeez.
Yes, yeah, yeah. It's been interesting. Just watching, just having that experience. Is like I don't rush to anything. So like once I finish a book, I literally take like maybe a month, maybe 3 months off. Like I don't know if I'm going to read the next book of Alice in Borderland this summer, or I might wait till fall to finish that series. Because I just like take my time with every single thing that I'm reading and whatnot. But yeah, I'm up to date on like 2 of the Absolute books. Well, kind of up to date. I think I'm a week behind Absolute Superman and whatnot. But I'm also reading the current Flash, which just had its second issue dropped by Ryan North with Wally West as
Hmm.
the Flash. But I'm also reading Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk, which has been an insane thing to read so far. I'm only 4 issues in. Like it's such a fun time. So my time is being intentionally spread everywhere, but like the avenues that I'm going through is like it's keeping stretching that rubber band. And like honestly, I'm having this is probably like the best era of comics I've been reading so far in like my like personal journey.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. I want your thoughts on Nightwing specifically because I haven't started that run yet. Um, this is picking up right after Tom Taylor's Nightwing concluded, right? Is this the next like arc for that character,
Yeah,
the next
pretty
writing
much.
team? Okay.
Mhm.
How's that differing from what was happening with the character before? Because I know you were kind of like,
Oh,
eh, with Taylor's run.
that's the funny thing about it. Like we've had this conversation, but for those you don't know, Nightwing is my favorite comic book character. So I am in the trenches anytime anything is happening with this character. But yeah, in terms of Tom Taylor's work, I enjoyed it. I had my up and downs, but this current run, which is being written by Dan Waters, if anyone doesn't know Dan Waters, he wrote what was it Batman Dark Patterns, which is a really good, at least based on just the reviews and how it's been received by the community. That is a like 12 issue series that's set in like the early years of Batman's time, and he's pretty much just doing all these weird mysteries and whatnot, and pretty much that writer is taking over Nightwing, and it is a complete like 180 from what we've seen with Tom Taylor's run.
Oh wow.
I was described, yeah. I look at it as imagine if we went back to the '90s Chuck Dixon era, but it's just a lot more dark and gritty. Or better yet, instead of leaping into the light as Tom Taylor Bruno Redondo's era was. We're now diving back down into the hell of Bloodhaven and getting to like the secrets and like the dirt and the grime of like how this city was made and like how corrupted it is and how just bitter and like just scary living in this
Yeah.
city is, and like there's so much history that we don't even know about and how corrupt it is and all that stuff. So yeah, we're no longer leaping tall buildings in sunlight and pastel colors. We are now back street level. Spoiler alert: Dick is no longer a millionaire. He no longer lives in like his high. Yeah, he no
High
longer
rise.
lives in his his high rise apartment. He has like a muscle car, like he's Dominic Toretto. Like it is literally
Oh,
bare
man.
bones. Yeah, it's literally bare bones Dick Grayson at the moment, and he's dealing with like these like kind of like weird murder mysteries and whatnot.
Where is he living?
I have no idea.
Oh, they didn't show
They've
you.
never established that. Yeah.
I used to love when I don't know if you guys remember Batman the Animated Series, the the later half of it, like when Nightwing, when they finally
New
introduced
Batman
Nightwing,
Adventures. Yeah.
right, that version, and he had like a loft, and it like connected to the sewer, and he would use the motorcycle to get out.
Yeah.
From there, I used to love that apartment. I used to dream of living in an apartment like that. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wish I wanted. I would love to have that. I just need more money for it.
We just need to be adopted by billionaire Playboy Bruce Wayne, and
Yeah,
that'll change things.
for sure.
No, but yeah, that's interesting how it's a completely different vibe from the previous. That's one thing I love about comics. Brandon and I would have a very like big disagreement on like the philosophy on how we want characters in these stories to go, in a sense where Brandon was always in that branch of he loves manga because he likes that a writer can tell the beginning, middle, and end, and he has like this finality to a story, right? Like I'm wearing this dang All Might fifth edition T-shirt from My Hero Academia because that story has a beginning, middle, and end. It's done. We're not going to see those characters again, and there's this level of finality to it that he enjoys. But I'm on the other end of the spectrum where I'm like, I like that, and I like that in manga. But one thing I love about comics is that you can have someone else reinvent a character, that you can have somebody else give their own take, their own spin, and even just within the continuity, right, where Dick is a pirate and he's a billionaire and he's got the Titans now working in Bloodhaven. They're now the Justice League for a small period of time. It's like I'm glad
Yeah,
that we can do that. And then, as Cliff was just saying, we're back to the streets. We're back to being gritty. We're back to being this street level, almost like Daredevil esque type version of the character. And I think that to me
which I
is
love.
way more fun at
It is.
times. Where it's like, yeah, I'm glad that, again, using My Hero as an example, I'm glad that Deku's story is complete and I enjoyed it from start to finish. But it'd be really cool if somebody else came in and just said, hey, this is my take on that same verse and here's how it goes. So I do appreciate that about comic books a lot.
Same.
I honestly go back and forth with that mindset because like I want complete stories, but also I'm just like I read comics, so like there's room. Like it's an entire sandbox, so it literally all depends on like who's writing this, what's your intention with the story, and do you actually get to even complete that story? Which that goes into like the business side of
Yeah,
writing comics versus manga. But yeah, we'll get to that in another episode.
it is a business decision essentially because like if somebody takes on a Batman run and you don't like it, I think of Tom King's Batman run, which I did not enjoy. It's like, oh, great, he's on Batman for like a year, and I have a Batman book that I'm just not going to read. Um, or it has lasting effects on the continuity, right? Like somebody made the decision to kill Alfred, and Alfred's been dead for like a decade, you know? And it's like, that has lasting effects on the verse, on the overall narrative. This is why I really do like graphic novels, where it's like, hey, this is in continuity or it's not. This is just Dick Grayson as Batman being a detective in the Black Mirror story, or
Right.
we have
Mhm.
All Star Superman, where it's like in that story, Superman is his mortality is in question. I'll put it that way. And that's something that's not in main continuity, but we're still able to tell that story. So I just like the versatility. I get where you guys come from, where it's like these things need to end, and I say that with the MCU, where like these movies need to end in some form or fashion, but also you can just if you make them fun,
Yeah.
if they can stand on their own, if the person making that specific story arc can do it to completion, that's cool. I just move on to the next one if I didn't like it, or I just enjoy the thing that they created. That's kind of where I stand, and that kind of leads us into our main topic is the absolute universe, right? I call this absolute universe year one. We have this whole new side of the multiverse in with the absolute line. We can talk about absolute Batman, how that reinvents the character again, where it's like Bruce is coming from nothing, but what does this version of Batman look like without all the money, without all the fancy gadgets? Even with the death of his parents being vastly different than what happened, right? Martha still being a big part of his life, right? It changes Batman so much, but the core of who that character is still supposed to shine through. Same with Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter. Joel, I want you to explain what's so great about the absolute universe, and because you have a broader scope than Cliff and I, because you've been reading everything.
Right.
A lot of these I have not even touched yet. So how's this line treating you?
I compare it very much to like what they did with the Ultimate Universe back originally.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't read the new run, but it just kind of took what you know and flipped it on its head and
Yeah,
kind of did their own version. Like literally, just Superman, at least in the beginning, didn't feel anything like Superman till like later in the series. Like right now, it feels more like Superman than it did when it first started.
yeah.
Uh, Batman is, depending on what version of the Batman you like, is bigger, badder, younger. He's like a big tank of a man,
He had a
and it seems like
mugshot in like issue 2, and it was just like date
he's
of
like 6'8".
birth 2002. I'm like, there's no way you're telling me
Yeah,
that
he's.
Batman was born after 9/11. I feel
It's
so
weird. It's
old.
so weird, and the way his origin's different. Like I could talk spoilers or no.
Yeah, you can talk spoil. I mean, I don't want us to spoil like the current issue, but like you can do
Yeah,
like the first few arcs. That's fine.
okay. I just want to like his origin is different. Like his mom's
Yeah,
alive. That's like very different right there. She's kind of has a thing for Gordon, or he does for her, one like that. His like Gordon's daughter is part of the Gotham PD already, and she's not the Barb we know yet, and she looks like she's mixed. So they did that,
yeah.
um, which I'm fine with. There's a lot of changes, like his dad being a teacher instead of a doctor and stuff like that. Um, everything being bigger, the way he meets Alfred, who Alfred is,
Alfred's
which I
basically a completely different character,
oh
but
yeah, completely. But I mean, they used that. They took the little like, oh, he used to be in the military or a spy or whatever the fuck, and amped it up
yeah,
like a lot. Wonder Woman is completely different in a good way because they went deep. They went full magic with it because
yeah,
it's like it definitely leans heavy in towards the gods and magic, and one of her arms, the ones that's all tatted up, is not even. She doesn't have an arm. That's like a magic arm. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like she uses this giant sword. She rides a fucking skeleton Pegasus, but can also fly. um, there's a lot of crazy shit that goes on in that series, but it's so fun because it's so different. And they used all her cast of characters. You even see some of her villains used and updated for this. And she's gigantic on top of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's also bigger and badder on a different level, but still like a pure soul. Like she's not mean or anything, you know.
Right. And that's
Um,
interesting for Diana. I'm gonna jump in because I love
go
Absolute.
ahead, go
It
ahead.
might be my favorite one. It's interesting that she is still that very empathetic and like loving character
Yes,
when she was raised in hell by
yes,
Cersei.
literally hell.
Yeah. I just think that's like again that thesis of what pieces of the character survive this drastic change is kind of what the question was and how it was pitched. And I'm like seeing the circumstances change drastically for these characters, but at the end of the day, Bruce will always be Batman and Diana will always be Wonder Woman. I think is so interesting.
Yeah, she's been cool. Like the design's been cool. Sometimes they have her in that helmet. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like she looks dark. It's insane. I love the designs for these characters, even though I don't love um the weird, they look like actual shorts on Batman. Like,
Hell yeah.
you know what I mean? But everything else aesthetically is pleasing. Like I saw, like I forgot what was the Hot Toy or some sure the Iron Studios figure.
Yeah.
That looks. Look, I don't like giant Batman. I've said that several times. He looks cool though. He looks. I will not take that away from him.
You gonna buy this? You gonna buy it though? That's the
I
big
don't know.
question.
I'm very particular about buying figures because I don't really have a lot of room right now, and they cost a lot of money.
Yeah, if you can't display it properly, it's kind of like I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that one. That's a cool one.
Yeah,
the fucking the emblem is an axe. Come on, there's this weird, crazy shit going on with that Batman. Flash is different because Wally's the main character. Barry is in it. And they're all kind of in it. Like,
that's interesting because I read issue 1 of the Flash, and something happens to Barry.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, what are we gonna do with that? So
Barry,
you saying that he's still in it? I'm like, okay, that means something interesting must have happened.
Barry was in it, and I mean, not so much now, but like,
sure.
But it's hard to explain because all the like his like the rogues, the classic rogues that we know of from the comics are like a task force that work for his Wiley's dad, and then you still have Thawne, but Thawne's a woman. You know what I mean? Ooh. Like it's
reverse Flash. I see it.
Yeah, but I don't know if she's the same Thawne or she's the daughter of that Thawne. I don't know. It's good.
Well, Eobard is a time traveler, so maybe she's like a present day, unless they mention time travel. But she could be like just a present day, like Thawne in the bloodline.
Yeah, that's weird. I forget exactly, but I do know they've introduced other characters, like Ralph Dibny has made an appearance already as like and Ralph Dibny is the elongated man. For those that did not know, he runs a shelter for like children, like kids.
Yep.
So that he's like one of them. I forget. There was someone else that just got introduced recently inside Flash. I know they're teasing Mirror Master. I don't think it got there yet though. So that's coming. There's like his villains are used a lot, but in different ways. Like Gorilla Grodd's not a gorilla yet. He's like a child.
Okay.
Like a monkey, more like a monkey. But now you find out that
Gorilla Grodd.
They're kind of doing it, but like he has a parent. Like he just ran it. Like it's.
So he's gonna like evolve probably into the Grodd.
Him and Grodd hang out a lot early on. And
I saw Grodd looking like Mojo Jojo a little bit.
A little bit. He has like you can see his brain. He looks alien-like. Kinda.
Yeah.
They experimented on him and shit. Yeah, it's weird. And his suit is kind of odd too. But it's definitely not classic Flash. Yeah, this Flash comic is out there. It's pretty good, but it's a little out there. Constantly in the beginning, he's constantly moving because he's running. Green Lantern one's even crazier because that one's like starts off in like isolated town, and the main character is Joe Mullane, I think her name Mullane, whatever.
Yeah.
From the newer like Far Sector Green Lantern comics, people probably know her from. She has a weird design, but yeah. So they decided to go with her as the lead instead. I think they originally were going to go with John, and they decided to go with Joe. I was like, I mean, whatever, do what you got to do. Everyone's in it though. John's in it. Joe. Hal's in it as more of.
It's like the whole core is kind of featured in a way.
They're in it, and the core is different, very different. They just like it's very. Later on, you get introduced to different like colors. The dark stars show up. It's just stuff like that.
Okay. Like this is the one of like the main line books that I have not touched yet. I have not read anything from Green Lantern. So all this is new.
They're just teasing Sinister's coming, but like.
Nice.
It's very different. It's so weird. It's so weird. Like a ship. Like what's his name? Albin Sur came in a ship and he's an alien, and he doesn't remember how the ring gets to Joe. It's like this. It's crazy. Like he takes over like basically the town, bubbles the town. Hal gets the black hand. You know he's the black hand. He doesn't know what to do with it. Like it's like he can't control it type shit. Then you think they die because the ship kind of like.
So we're going like full sci-fi, like
it's super
thriller
sci-fi,
essentially.
Yeah.
That might be right up my alley. This might be the book I need to read.
Yes, and they just we see the government now. They show Simon. And Simon wears a mask, but as an agent, not a lantern. You know what I mean? Like an agent for
that's cool.
DEO, I think, or whatever. It's weird when he's wearing the mask. You're like, why is he wearing a mask? He's paranoid.
Yeah, Mike. If it ever for a best descriptive like answer for like issue 1, which Joel, I'm curious if you might agree. Absolute Green Lantern feels like a first contact kind of story for me.
Kind of. Yeah.
In like a District 9 almost kind of situation, like a Independence Day.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it is. It's just like this Green Lantern ship pops up
It
and
feels
just
like
like going out of
yeah.
town, and then just
It
like
feels
shit
like
hits the fan essentially.
yeah, it's like an indie alien flick, kind of in the feel in the beginning, before it kind of gets more galactic, like cosmic. But that's even now, it's not super cosmic; it's all grounded. This guy, what's his name? Hammond. Um, I can't remember his first name. He was the guy that in the Green Lantern movie that got the big head.
Okay.
Hector
Yeah.
Hammond. All right, so he's played out a little bit differently. He's like a rich, snooty asshole in this. He's actually one of the main bad guys that you see in that crossover for all the comics.
Yeah.
Get the name of it. That one. He's in there with a couple other people from the other comics. So like, if you read that issue, you'll see characters like Ra's al Ghul, who's now obviously, if you've been reading, he's been toned down. So Ra's al Ghul was in it. You'll see Thawne was in it.
Okay.
Hammond was in it, and all the like. You'll see connections to all the main titles, and then except Martian Manhunter, that's the only one that's not really represented. Even though it's apparently in the same universe, it's very isolated. It's a trip, like it's a super trip. That's why I asked if you guys ever read it, because you're reading it's almost like reading a '70s comic book, because they're like it looks like you're
Amazing.
high reading that book. Honestly, it's crazy.
That's crazy. All of these sound so fascinating. I know I've been reading Batman. Superman was really fun. That first arc is just a wild ride.
It's
Wonder
different.
Woman. Wonder Woman has just been. I love that she's probably the one in the Trinity that needed the most help, and so this reinvention of the character is so good. I'm like, just we need to
Pull
start
some of
incorporating that into the main continuity.
Yeah,
Like
I swear.
we did Joel, you and I did a video with the rest of the gang like a couple years ago. We were pitching like DC video games, and my
Yeah.
Wonder Woman pitch was like make her the God of War, and like
Yeah.
lean into that. And I'm like, oh well, they listen to me in some capacity. This works great. let's keep doing that, because I know her rogues gallery is leaves a lot to be desired sometimes. Like you really have Cheetah, and it's like okay, there's good characters in there. There's like good stories in there, but like for the masses, I think the simplest way to pitch Diana is what this universe is doing. But Cliff, I want your thoughts on the absolute line, whatever book, whatever. Just go. What are your thoughts so far?
You know, I'm loving this kind of like microscopic world, if you will. You know, this one off of main DC continuity. I know I'm caught up on Batman, which is surprising to say, especially with like how I feel about Batman as a character at this moment in my life. He's the one. Like I've read all 16 issues. Yeah, love Absolute Superman. I've read all the first issues of every run so far, but I'm behind on Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Flash. Like we're talking like 10 plus issues for like 3 series each and whatnot. Love Martian Manhunter. I'm on issue 7. That like Joel mentioned, it's kind of like the '70s thriller kind of situation. I put it akin to like the X Files a little bit, where like each
Okay.
issue is like its own mystery, like murder mystery, and like it just happens to like there's some alien stuff involved, and we all know the alien that is involved in this story, but it's also just a mind like bender, if you will. I am going to check out Absolute Green Arrow too, because after reading
Can't
that
wait.
Absolute Evil one shot, I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, I need to know what's happening here. You
Yes.
know, this it's going to be insane.
Because you read that and then find out they're doing a book. You're like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That immediately caught me off guard. I'm like, oh, okay. How are we going to tackle that?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, as long as he's not rich, that's going to be the fun thing. Like as long like him and Bruce
I
Wayne
love
not
that
having
Cliff
money.
is on like superheroes should not be billionaires in the big 2026.
Hey, look, at this point, we
man.
don't have time to root for millionaires saving the world. Okay, like even Absolute Batman, he's still somehow accomplishing things with no money. Like he's in his early
He's
20s,
not-
and somehow he has all these certifications and
You
degrees.
can't tell me he ain't got no money when you see that Batmobile.
That's what
That's
I'm
all
like.
good.
They have not explained it yet. Like how you got you studied the Gotham City's water system. You studied the electrical grid. You studied construction. You
He's,
went to school for this, that, and the third. And you only like
Yeah.
22, 23? Please, sir. And
He's
you
like
got
a
time to
city-
hit the gym?
He's like a
You
city
taking
planner or
steroids
whatever.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's
Like,
like,
he
I work
takes
in
steroids somehow.
construction. But
Yeah.
look at all this
Man,
other
it's
stuff. I got.
massive.
So great.
It's
Also, he was a
crazy.
star football player for some reason. That's a cool thing in his origin. It's like, all right.
And then got an
Yeah.
injury and was like, you
He
know
got a
what?
ground.
I'm not going to do that.
He got the Casey Jones origin story. That's what's so funny.
Wow.
For real.
Shout out to Casey. He deserves better. Which is funny. He has a mini series going on
He does.
right
He
now,
does.
right?
Yep.
Oh
He
wow,
does.
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
A couple people do. So I mean, they showed it. Fuck, I forget his name. You remember when Raphael wore the vigilante costume in the movie?
Yeah,
Night Thrasher. I forgot what he called himself.
I believe it was Night Thrasher.
it was
Something
like
like
Knight
that.
Rider or something crazy.
It was Night some shit. But I know there's a spin-off of that in the comics right now. But it's not Raphael.
I was about to say, so it's just a Raph book, but okay.
No, it's not. If you know the comic, you'll know. But spoil it. If you gave a shit, I won't tell you. But I can tell you after. You know, on the
I'm
side.
I am like 4 years
Who else could it
behind
be?
on
Honestly?
Turtle books. Yeah, it's like
Mike, you're like 10 years behind on Turtle books. Like their
Alright.
hardcover collection of the IDW is like 12 hardcovers.
And
they're as thick as the
first
Power Ranger
run.
books I got. Like it's
Oh,
insane.
gosh.
That
I did love
book
that
looks cool.
reboot run though. So like I got to get back into it.
It was cool. I mean, I would like to go back and read it one day, but it's a lot.
It's worth it though. It's some of the best turtle stories.
And this is a sequel of that. This that's why it kept up. I mean, this is gonna go from there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm just looking at all these reboots. Essentially, I appreciate that we're able to tell like modern age stories with these characters, because one thing about comic book fans is that we don't like change generally. Like the masses don't like change. Look at the New 52 and how they essentially had to like backtrack that and say, well, you know what, old canon is back, and it causes those characters to kind of get stuck in the same status quo, right? It's why Peter Parker can never evolve. He can never actually be with Mary Jane, because we have to keep reverting him back to status quo.
Right.
I'm glad we found a way to still reinvent these characters, right? Superman's new origin, I think, speaks to what, as Cliff was saying, in a modern era, maybe Batman shouldn't be a billionaire. You know, maybe he should be a man of the people. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm glad that we have that option to tell a story like that, though, with this character, to make them more relatable and align with like more modern sensibilities in a way, where like Superman being basically like an orphan, right? And he comes to Earth and he still feels like this disconnect, but he becomes like this hero of the people and the oppressed. And he becomes, again, that's that same symbol of hope for people, but it's in a way more believable way, I guess, in 2026, as opposed to, oh, he's just classic truth, justice, better tomorrow vibes, which I love. Don't get me wrong. I love classic Superman. But I also like that we have this other character who had to pull himself out the mud and basically force himself to see a better future and like change his worldview and accept the people of Earth as his family. And seeing that evolution, like Joel, you were saying, he's evolving more into classic Superman, but we gave him this way more brutal origin story. Like seeing Martha Kent, man, breaks my heart in those early issues, because it's just like, this kid will never know peace. It's so sad. His best friend is the freaking Cape. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, that's weird too. That's an odd choice to go with a living I don't know what the fuck, like AI dust
cloud. Somehow it's a gas, it's a solid, and a liquid. All
it's weird.
But and also a fabric for some reason at some points.
Yeah.
And it's a fabric, and somehow it's also his fortress of solitude.
It's everything.
It took nanotech to a whole new level, man.
Safety blanket.
Yes. Yeah, but like I think making Superman suffer and then still smile through it and still come out on top makes it so much more, I don't know, I guess it hits a lot harder, I guess, nowadays. Whereas in mainline continuity, he's super dad. He's still super dad when he's there. I know he's currently not there in mainline continuity. We can talk about main canon too if you want to. What's going on with Superman?
He's
Joe would know a lot more. I feel because
he's what do they call it? Omega, the King Omega right now.
Oh right, he's King
Okay.
Omega. He's disappeared now.
He
Oh yeah, if you want to
disappeared, yeah.
know, yeah, the solicitations came out for July that basically Superman King Omega. He'll be in the future dealing with some stuff where Darkseid took over
Mhm.
while everybody, and so he'll eventually come back and whatnot. But well, basically this like miniseries is what's going on with his life right now. So while he's gone, we're seeing what's actually happening to him during his disappearance.
Okay.
So again, he has no time to be a dad nor be a husband. You know,
Yeah, we've got Prime being substitute teacher right now, I guess.
very true.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Absolute Superman just. I don't know if we want to go into like our specific favorite books of the Absolute World and whatnot, but
We're just chatting, dude. If that's where you want to take us there.
yeah, I'm just obsessed with that book. Like to bring it back to what Mike mentioned about having this version of Superman literally be beaten to hell and just lose literally everything, and almost to the point where he wants to spoiler alert people, where he wants to kill himself before he even reaches to Earth. To then have like issue 15 where he's actively in the prison reading the poems of the people that Ra's al Ghul victimized. Just like, oh, this is such like Jason Aaron, you genius. I love what you're doing with Clark in this world, or Kal-El, however we want to put it, and whatnot. Like, just it's just a brilliant thing. Like seeing how he still understands what it's like to be a part of a lower class, to then come to another planet that still has those same systems in place, and he still be victimized, not just by those people he's trying to help, but also those in power, and also just like the mad scientist and brainiac, if you will, on that spectrum. And he's still just like, nah, I'm gonna do this. I don't care who you are, what you're going through. I'm gonna help you somehow. You know, so he's spreading himself thin. He's getting into conflict with like Hawkman and all these other characters who are just like, "Whoa, what you doing, kid?"
Fucking Hawkman, yeah, who's apparently doesn't age. Like, what's the like?
I don't know.
Did you see what they did? Did you read the most recent issue?
No, I'm literally 2 issues behind. I was supposed to, but at this point, I was like, I'll just wait till the next issue comes out next month and just, like I said, I'll just do a marathon.
Some interesting shit. I say that.
it feels a lot like the show just ended, so it's fresh on my brain. But it feels a lot like Invincible, right? Where it's like we just keep punching Mark down, but the interesting part about it is how he picks himself up out of it, right? How he bounces back. He's like, hey, throughout all of this, I haven't died yet. I'm still title card, you know, pops up on the screen.
But Clark is like he still has a chance to actually survive, whereas Mark is just like you come close to death literally in every arc.
Oh yeah,
like
it's beating Clark mentally, not necessarily physically, which is how Superman has always been challenged, right? People who say Superman's boring because he's too OP, it's like, yeah, well, that's why his main villain is a guy he doesn't actually punch, you know?
Yeah. It's fair.
Which he's about to get introduced into this as well. So like I can't even imagine.
He has been introduced. It's just like weirdly.
I mean,
like,
is he like a full supporting character now within the recent issues?
No, not yet. No,
okay.
Not yet.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like he's getting introduced into it.
When was the last time you? What's the last thing you remember?
The last thing, Brainiac popped up, or stopped by his house to recruit him, and that was it.
Yeah.
I know there's something else
just sitting there like, oh boy.
Yeah, I know issue 15 and 16 where he's dealing with the whole parasite thing. I don't believe.
Yeah, also weird. Wow.
Parasite is so beautifully ugly in this universe. I love it so much. I love an ugly monster. Oof.
Everybody's low-key kind of ugly in this universe, if you're gonna be completely honest.
That's not true. We've seen Zatanna.
Oh, Zatanna, fair.
You know what? Check.
We got Dinah Lance about to come in here. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, short-haired Dinah.
Okay, I'm sorry. The book has beautiful women. You are correct, but like the monsters be ugly as hell. Y'all saw Bane. That man is just muscle. His head is like this big.
You see
this
Joker.
Big. What did you say, Joe? I'm sorry.
The Joker, his origin.
Oh God. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. It's like, what is?
Okay.
So I'm behind. I am behind on Batman. That I am like, probably like 5 issues back on Batman. Do we ever follow up with the Joker? I know we have the Robins showing up, like, or is Joker still like a thing in the background that we're not really touching yet?
Basically, that they do the closest. trying to think. It wasn't a. It was a spin-off, right? It's almost like an annual, I think. That they go into the Joker's like origin a little bit, or they
Yeah.
you assume it's the Joker. They don't know. They kind of
No,
they
that
show.
was a full issue.
Well, I know, but was it a Batman issue?
Yeah, it was a full Batman issue.
Okay.
Yeah, the
No, I
only
thought
other
that was like
yeah, I think you're thinking about the Arc M one shot.
yes. The Arc one shot gives you
Mm.
background on the Joker. I mean,
Okay.
they don't tell you it's the Joker, but if you put the dots, if you start connecting the dots,
Yeah.
there might be a connection. That's basically what that is.
Interesting.
See,
Yeah.
see, and Joel, that's the thing. So like, because you're correct. The Arkham thing, it gives you a full background, just like the world of Arkham and like all the. This is basically how we get
Yes.
to understand origins of like Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, and whatnot.
Mhm.
But I have my League of Comic Geeks like log here. That way, in case I need to find something real quick, I can just keep it. But Absolute Batman issue 15 is that entire issue is nothing but the Joker's origin, literally nonstop.
That's the what. That's the thing with the island and
Mhm.
everything.
Yes,
Okay.
that
Okay,
whole.
that actually might be my next issue because I'm like,
It's
I didn't get a
weird.
chance to read in time for this show, but yeah.
But yeah, to answer your question, even more, Mike, we have more stuff, but Joker's still in the background. I don't want to ruin what happens in this recent issue because it might be again. We've had the conversation where I was about to drop this run, and then the most recent issue came out, and I was like, I guess I'm back in it because this is exciting to me, you know. So I'll stay quiet on that end.
All right, yeah, like Absolute Batman, cool. And this is just with Snyder's writing in general, is that like he does a lot of things to like shock you, and it's like, but once the shock wears off, where's the substance? That's kind of how I feel with a lot of his writing in general. But if there is something buried in here, because like Court of Owls was that way, where it's like they have the shock value, but also that's just a really fun arc and a really fun story. I'm not gonna drop this book entirely, but yeah, I just need that next thing to pull me in, and just seeing the mech Robins is probably enough to just like, okay, I guess I got to read up to at least see what this is about. The first time we've had the 5 Robins actually team up, probably ever.
I'm so intrigued. Like, what the fuck is this?
Baymax, Dick Grayson over here is like, all right, fine.
Yeah. Because they did
and the one training
a couple
them is even
ago.
more interesting.
Oh, see, I haven't even got there.
Like, oh, Joe, you haven't read the actual issue yet?
I haven't read the newest issue, 19, I think it was, right?
Yeah, he said he's one back.
Yeah, I didn't read last week, so like,
This is why this show is monthly. It gives us all time to catch up.
It was the one after the Poison Ivy arc, basically.
Okay,
I haven't read that one. I haven't read that one.
All right, yeah, let me stay quiet. I'm gonna shut the fuck up in this case.
You know, I was like, oh, I wanted to. I just haven't. Sometimes I get into a groove reading, and then I go into like a big ass fucking drought.
Yeah, I'm currently in my drought because I still need to actually get to the comic book store. That was going to be my next thing. I didn't want to end our absolute conversation, but I'm going to the comic book shop for the first time ever.
I thought you did that already.
I didn't get a chance to go. I was planning to, and then they closed early for whatever reason, and then I just missed every other weekend because my comic shop is only open on Wednesday when there's new releases, and they're open from 12 to 7. But I work 10 to 7. So I can only go on Saturdays, and I have to make sure I hit that window that they're open on Saturday, because that's the only other day of the week that they're open.
How far is it?
Mike, your state just be doing the weirdest things ever. Every time y'all mention something, I'm just like, what is going on up there?
We live in the Midwest, Cliff, and so I would love to move to a city. I just don't have city money. So I've got Milwaukee's the best I got. It's the only city really in the entire state. It's only like 5 miles away. It's not that far. So like I can get there in like 7 minutes in my car. But it's just making sure I can free up my Saturday, because since Saturday's like the only day off. Like we're recording this on a Saturday, so I missed today because I had to make sure I was here for this.
Right.
So next week I'm hoping to go. I want you guys to set expectations. What can I expect going to this comic shop? Do I just go in there with a plan and say, hey, I'm going to go buy these specific books? Or do I just go wherever fate takes me when I walk in there? Because I have the money to where it's like I can buy like a stack if I want to.
I would say, at least what's the last comic book you read?
Oh, the last comic book. I mean, just these absolute books. I haven't
Okay.
actually went out of my way and
If
bought
you're
anything.
collecting, I say continue in your trend, your collections.
Uh-huh.
And if you want to start something new, grab something new. And if you just want like to grab like a hardcover or some shit, like maybe you want to catch up on an old story, you can do that. That'll give you your money's worth while you're there, so you don't just go to look.
Yeah,
Generally, I can't tell how many times because I don't really get like actual books anymore. I
yeah,
get everything digital. So when I walk to a comic book store, people like they look at me and I'm like, I don't. If I'm gonna get a book, it's probably gonna be like a hardcover book because
yeah.
I don't have room for books. So it's like everything I do is digital. So if I say go, I say go with a plan unless you plan on just going for fun. You
Yeah.
know.
I'm going. Well, to let you guys know, I'm going so I can get freaking Superman, Spider-Man, Superman, because I
Oh,
can.
that's
I have
right.
to go in
That's
there
right.
and get the book. So like, that's the main
That's
agenda.
number one. Got it.
That's yeah. That's I'm gonna buy those two because I think both are out now, right? Marvel dropped the Spider-Man, Superman this week,
I think
so I'm gonna
so.
go grab those two, and
Mhm.
then whatever else. Like I think I might grab issue one of the latest New Gods run because I didn't start that yet. I did want to start that. I might as well just get that physically while I'm there.
But if
You might as
sorry,
well just get all 12 issues. It's been a year
Yeah.
since the
has it
series
been?
has come
It's
out.
not. It's
Yeah,
they don't have
At
a
that
thing
point, I
yet.
can just wait for a volume, probably, right?
Right.
both
The
volumes
volume's
are
not
out.
out yet. Oh, they
Oh,
are. Okay.
okay. Yeah, I'll
Hmm.
just get a volume
Yeah,
one then.
they did 12 issues, and then Ron B had mentioned that him and Evan Cagle, the artist, are going on a break for a while with this group. So we don't know what time they plan on coming back to write more stories. So as
Yeah.
the resident new god obsessive amongst us, get it
Mhm.
while it's hot because you might not see these
He
characters
he.
again.
Was it worth? Was it good? Did you enjoy it?
Oh hell yeah! I still have to finish it. I stopped because I was just like,
Yeah.
because y'all know I'm doing the whole new guys deep dive. So like I'm going from the very beginning of Jack Kirby's time,
Oh wow.
going all the way till now. I don't
When
know
you
why I do this to
invest, you
myself.
invest hard,
Yeah.
man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
I go
I
all the
don't
way
bullshit
back.
around. Exactly. Like if I'm gonna take my time and enjoy myself, I'm gonna get as much as I can out of it. You
I
know.
mean, I respect it.
I
And
appreciate that because as somebody who was the same way, where like I've read like all the original like Fantastic Four books or the original X-Men books, and so it's like that changes how I perceive Doctor Doom or Thanos or like these characters that pop up. When I see Zack Snyder adapt Darkseid and he's just like big evil gray guy, I'm just like, Darkseid kind of wears like a skirt and he just be
it's
hanging
just
out and
New
just like
52 Dark
messing
Side.
around with Mr. Miracle, at his house, just sitting on the couch. It's just like, okay, my perception of Darkseid is so different from like the general public's perception because I read some of the Jack Kirby stuff in like the 80s and 90s books for these characters.
Right.
Oh, and then speaking of Mike, I also had a couple questions. One, how much is your budget? And I mean, you already kind of answered. You want the Superman, Spider-Man crossover comics.
Yeah,
What else is on your pull list, essentially?
that's my
Because I
point.
have
Is like
reasons for
I
asking as
can
well.
make a plan. Like I can think of like, well, I did want to read this. Like I probably want to grab some sort of X-Men book or volume because I haven't read X-Men in a long time. So whichever you guys recommend, like I'd want to grab Storm. I know Miles Morales is a book AJ was talking about. I might grab that issue. Like there's stuff that I can grab if I think about it. But that's what I'm saying. Should I go in with like a game plan? I'm gonna have a checklist and grab all these issues, or should I just have the budget of like $150 and just say, hey, whatever looks interesting, I've got room for it because I'm only there for Superman, Spider-Man, really. So like that's gonna cost me like $10 max, and the rest can just be for
Which is
whatever.
like 16.
Oh gosh, they're
What
like 10
happened?
each.
Yeah, both those crossovers are like $7, $8.
Oh, okay. You know what? Worth
Yeah,
it. It's still worth it.
yeah. This is
Hey,
why
that's
I'm
true.
asking essentially because I'm with Joe, like going with like whatever you're like curious about, but since Joel is like collecting digitally, I'm the only other person who's actively going to the shop at least every like couple months and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I would say call that shop ahead of time because I don't know if there's any other comic shops within your area. If not, that might be the most busy one, and depending on if it is, things could
Yeah,
sell out.
that's
And
fair.
if you want like first printings and whatnot of stories, that's going to be a little bit more tricky and whatnot. So I'd say have a game plan, but also obviously leave room like, okay, if this isn't available, let me see if they have this and yada yada yada. And if you
Yeah.
can call ahead to see like, hey, can you put this aside for me? Yeah, or do you have a website where I can pay online and then just pick it up at whatever point, and like how long can you hold it for me and all that stuff. Because as much as this like hobby is fun, reading single issues is annoying. That's why I stopped doing it. Like, why I only get like issue ones, or like I only pick up very specific issues nowadays.
Yeah, this is
like,
why
if you don't
like,
get it right when it drops, it's gone.
I'm not like being too frustrated with it. It's like, I'm sure I would at least assume that they have enough of these Marvel DC crossovers in stock, and even if that's all I walk away with, I'm okay with that, because I mostly read digital anyway. I don't have a bookshelf currently to store all of these anyway. So like, I don't know if the plan should just be like sampler style, where it's like we're gonna just buy like some number ones of books that look interesting, and if I like it, get the volume, get it digitally or whatever, or if I just go pick up my 2 and call it a day. That's kind of where it's like, if I gotta think too much, I don't know what's gonna happen, man. If I gotta start calling folks, I ain't got time to do that. They're only open 2 days a week, and I can't get there.
That's crazy too.
Yeah, and to add to it, like if you do want a new issue 1, what new issue 1 are you speaking of? I know we're talking like Absolutes and whatnot in like Storm, but like the current Storm book, that's like the second iteration. Like that's the next continuation after her recent solo series. Yeah, same with like and same with like the Mortal Thor. That's like part 2 of Al Ewing's current Thor journey.
I'm also reading. My bad. Now that you bring up Mortal Thor, it's just Immortal Thor. No, I'm reading. What's it called?
Inferno.
Oh my god! No. Iron Fist, the new one.
Even more. Undead Iron Fist. Deadly Hands of Fish. Okay. Yeah, the crossover
of Kunlun. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
How's Iron Fist?
So far, so good. Yeah.
I know Cliff's reading Iron Fist too, right?
No, I am not reading it.
Well, not this specific issue, but I know you were like reading. You were trying to get like Immortal Iron Fist at some point.
Oh yeah, I want the Immortal Iron Fist omnibus, but that thing is so hard to find.
Yeah. This one is
because I've read half of it when it originally dropped. Go ahead.
Yeah, because this one's about Lynn, and Danny's in it, but he's now a different type of character altogether. He's an Iron Fist, but he's called. What the fuck do they call him now?
Is it still on Deadly Iron Fist?
It's not, but yeah, it is
for Danny's like title.
Yeah, Danny is dead, but he's not dead.
Okay,
it's kind of weird.
Oh, the Undead Iron Fist.
Undead Iron Fist. Yeah, but that one. So he's there doing that, and then there's a Lin Lai, and the White Fox is in it, and a couple interesting. It's pretty cool. I like it.
I know that character now. Let's go, Marvel Rivals.
Yeah. So apparently, I didn't even really remember. I think it was her. You know what I mean? That's just because I misremember. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Sure.
Yeah, Mike, I will say, see if they have the Flash issue 31 still. If there's any book I recommend, just write that one down. Just because it's Wally West. He's a dad. He's married. He's got kids, and what the writer's doing with his powers is quite hilarious.
Oh man.
Is that
just give you a quick idea. That's the new Flash that just dropped last month. The second issue just dropped this month as well.
Is he in his new suit yet, or is he in the old one?
No, Wally's in his classic suit.
Well, I mean, is the new suit the classic? Because that's what it is. The new suit.
No. It's literally the I got you. Yeah. It's, the classic red and yellow. What we know of Flash. Yeah. That's what Wally's in now.
Because Wally was wearing red and black for a while there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the writer Ryan North, he's been writing Fantastic Four for like 3 years now, and it's probably the best Fantastic Four series that we've gotten in like 10 years. Wow. It's just a fun family sci-fi book. It's just incredible vibes all throughout. It's such a good time.
I'm thinking, as we're talking, it's like I think I might get some Marvel books because Marvel's my blind spot. I have not read Marvel in so long, so like I might just make it a mission to like look up some runs that might be fun and just like try and dive into those.
I'm mostly DC anyway. It's mostly, comics. I buy more DC comics than Marvel comics.
Yeah,
brand loyalty.
It's just what it is. I don't mean to do it. It just there's more books I'm interested in on the DC side. That's all.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Where it's like I say that I prefer DC just because my viewing habits I've always leaned DC, but it's not like, oh, I hate Marvel and I'm a part of like this
Right.
bandwagon
No,
thing
I
where it's
love
like, oh,
Marvel.
I prefer one or the other. It's like, give me a good Spider-Man book and I'm happy. Give me a good Batman book and I'm happy.
I've read all the new, well, not all, mostly all the Predator versus comics
Oh
recently.
yeah,
I
How
love
are
all that
those?
shit.
Like,
They're not
okay,
bad.
like I
Yeah.
read the Spider-Man and Black Panther one, like the first issues of those, but I haven't continued them.
Oh, yeah. The probably Black Panther was probably my least favorite, but I thought that would be better.
Okay,
But Spider-Man ended up pretty good. Predator versus, is it just Marvel? I think yeah,
Predator kills
Predator
the
kills the
universe.
Marvel
Yeah.
universe. That was crazy to see, like, who gets killed, how they get killed, how they plan all that, and or how it ends. It's all kind of weird. Like it's pretty cool. But I think it connects to the Spider-Man one, which was pretty cool.
Okay.
And I read the Wolverine one. That was really good.
Mhm.
How's the Cat versus Alien joint? I read that
I
first issue.
I didn't read Cap versus Indian. I want to,
Okay.
but I missed it, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go back when it becomes a volume. Some shit. I did
Yeah.
read Aliens. Was it Aliens
Versus
vs
Avengers.
Avengers? Yeah, I
Yeah, it
read
was
that.
Avengers.
That was fucking weird because they jump to the future,
Mhm.
and they do some weird shit with that one. I preferred if it was more modern, but it was okay. They made choices.
Which that brings me to another question. How do we feel that we're also now in like an age of like crossovers, not just amongst like Marvel and DC, but now we're constantly getting, Power Rangers, Ninja Turtle
Yeah.
crossovers. We're getting Alien and like Marvel, Predator and Marvel. Godzilla's crossing over with everybody and they mom.
I literally,
You know,
Godzilla every versus the world at this point.
everybody. He's with the
Do-
Ninja Turtles, the Justice League,
Yeah,
Marvel.
that was
Like,
Do you
crazy.
guys want to know one of my favorite crossovers of recent memory? It's TMNT meets Stranger Things.
that's a
Was
thing.
that a comic?
That was a comic, yes, and it takes place during
That
Stranger
sounds
Things
fun.
season 3. So Max has joined the crew at that point, but they're still a little bit younger than season 4 and 5, and yeah, they take a school trip to New York.
Oh,
And
bless
so
them. In the
it's-
80s.
yeah, in the 80s. So we're with like
Hawkins,
comic book
Indiana.
versions of the
How long
Turtles,
did that
essentially.
take?
What's
Oh,
was
so they're
that?
still like black and white?
Well, I mean, the comic is in color, like the Turtles.
Are they all
They're
wearing
this
red?
weird blend. No,
Okay.
they're in this weird blend where it's like they're darker like the OG comics, but they still have traits of like the 80s cartoon,
Oh, cool.
because it's from that era. So kind of like the 2003 show, I guess is the best way to put it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just like
Cool white eyes.
that's a weird white eyes. That's such a weird crossover, but it actually works because the Turtles are around the same age as the Stranger Things kids at that point. They're like 14
Yeah,
years
it's
old.
fair. Oh, that is cool.
And then Dr. Stockman is like he's like morphing Demogorgons with like mouser heads, and so we have Demomousers, and it's just like
oh, wow.
this surprisingly works. So to answer your question about like the era of crossovers, I like when we can do weird things like that, where it's like these are two properties I would have never put together, but they actually fit really, really well.
Look that up. I might want to read that one. How many issues was it?
Oh gosh, I think you can get like a single like volume now with all the issues.
Really?
I'm about to look it up right now, Joe.
Me too. Well,
But yeah, it was fun, and I like when we can do those type of crossovers. You have your classic like Power Rangers Turtles meet a lot at this point.
yeah, that
but
did that a lot. You're right.
I think having those events gets like the casuals interested a lot, because you see Superman and Spider-Man teaming up, and people who don't read comics like, I got to look into that now, and it's that shot in the arm, I guess, to kind of like breathe more life into this medium that can struggle on like a monthly basis. Same thing with Invincible. Like the Invincible show just existing increases sales of Invincible comics by like 200%.
Which is truly insane to think about. Of all the indie comics to have, like outside of Walking Dead, and they both be created by the same writers. Just like, sir, you got lucky twice, and I admire it. Like, shout out to Robert Kirkman.
Damn. Yeah. Surprised they don't do them more crossovers like they do with like the Invincible versus Spider-Man thing. Not versus, but I'm surprised they don't do more Invincible crossovers.
Is it
That's
because
like everybody
Invincible
would die.
ended? That's also fair.
That's
But
also fair.
but like, is it because Invincible ended, and so like, not to spoil
That's
the end of the
well,
show and the book, but like, if Mark grows up, we're now telling a prequel, right? If Mark
yeah.
is back in his teenage years in his classic suit and he's hanging out with
It's
15-year-old Peter
over.
Parker again.
But there's current there's like new battle beast books, and I don't know if that's current or that would take place in the past type shit.
I think the Battle Beast book is in the past. I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
I could be
I would
wrong.
look
I
it
If
up.
read
I'm
the
I'm
wrong,
not.
first
let me
issue,
know.
but I haven't picked it up. So whatever's happening in the Invisible universe, I am not aware of.
I'm sure. Look,
And
as
like a
popular
part
as
of me,
Invincible is becoming or is, like they should definitely think about a new book.
Well,
mm,
so yeah, you guys know the game Invincible Versus. Apparently, there's a story mode, and apparently, it's an
Mhm.
I did
original
not know there was
story.
games of it.
So it's a fighting game. It's kind of like a Street Fighter
Oh
thing
yeah,
with
it looks.
Invincible.
It's pretty.
Mm.
It's pretty cool
There
for
was
fighting people.
there was a beta. It was okay. I played it.
Yeah,
But
if you
there's a
like fighting
story
games.
mode, and it's an original story, and it's written by the team that writes the show, and it's voice
Oh,
acted by the cast of the show. The cast is
mostly.
not voicing the game itself, but they're voicing the story mode. And so
Weird,
I'm
right? I did
yeah.
see that.
So I'm wondering if Kirkman is sitting here like, well, we can keep telling stories and new stories in that world. I'm just not going back to writing comics, and so I wonder if we'll get more animated original stories or like
Hmm.
video game
Spin-offs.
stories. I know they have the live action movie that they want to do, so maybe to not make it too similar to the show, maybe they make drastic changes and it's a new take on Invincible. They've got to do something though, because you don't want this IP to just fall off the face of the earth in like
Right.
5 years when the show ends. It's way too popular for that.
I agree.
Honestly, I think the best option might be just dropping it into the Energon universe because since Skybound owns those rights to make the like Transformers comics, the GI Joe comics, Void Rivals, and all that stuff. So that might be an easier route to do
Mhm.
and whatnot.
I
I'm not
mean,
sure, but like
that's fair. I mean, because
as
that's a
Invincible,
good
he's only
point.
crossover with Spider-Man and Spawn so far.
Right. But Spawn is.
That's
And
so
whoever the
random.
alligator, like muscle dude is, I forgot his name, but he's like an investigator or something.
Savage
His
Dragon. He's
alligator with
everywhere.
muscles. Yes. Yeah.
Savage Dragon. He's everywhere.
Mhm.
He's in that book the most of any other crossover character. Honestly, swear to God, he's at every funeral. Not in the show, but in the comics, he is. Every funeral he's there. Savage Dragon shows up a lot, and I think because the creators are close. I think was it Larson is the creator of Savage Dragon. I would love to see the Savage Dragon anything, but that's not comic book. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. But bringing that up, but I forgot about that because right now with Image owns or Image has the current. They produce or they publish Invincible, right? But they don't own Invincible. Is that right?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe it's
Yeah.
still owned by Skybound, which is owned by Robert
Skybound still
Kirkman.
owns it. I just don't know what the legal rights are.
Okay,
Like,
that's interesting because then
Hey,
he's right, and they could
I'm
probably do that.
Yeah, I'm on the
What?
wiki right now. It says it operates in concert with Image Comics. So yeah, partnership, whatever. So it's probably possible.
I mean, that's interesting because like, all right, because I wouldn't mind having other books. I mean, his own books always have like, Tech Jacket, which was its own comic book, not just a cameo in this show. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, the Invincible Universe comics, like that's just a weird world to begin with. Like, there's a part of me that wanted to dive into that world. But I was like, I just read 149 issues of Invincible. I'm not about to do more
Yeah.
of this world in
I
solo
have-
comics and whatnot.
I have like my friend gave his shit like some of his comics away. He gave me all his Guardians of the Globe comics, like spinoff. I have all of them somewhere.
That's crazy.
It's
so
like,
is that like a prequel? Is that the OG Guardians of the Globe, or is that like what's
No,
currently in the
It
show?
was the
Where it's
current
like,
one in the show.
okay,
Yeah.
I might need to pick up that book because my opinions on the Guardians of the Globe are at the lowest they've ever been because I think they are all frauds currently.
I mean, it
Yeah.
never gets higher, arguably.
We
Not really.
we didn't even take them to fight the Viltrumites because we knew that they'd be useless. We took Tech Jacket, who we didn't even know.
Yeah, who was this person? Yeah,
It's like
I'll
we
take
got
that.
her, Battle Beast, and we're gonna take Oliver, and that's all we can do. Nobody wants to
Yeah.
take anybody from the Guardians of the Globe.
Which is crazy because most of them have similar, like Bulletproof has similar powers. Did you know that Invincible was originally supposed to be called Bulletproof?
I learned this past week somehow on
There you
social
go.
media.
He was
Like,
he was original, and he wore that suit.
that's
That's
crazy.
why at one point Bulletproof takes over as Invincible when Mark goes down.
Oh wow.
That might be a
Okay.
They
spoiler
don't.
alert for a lot of people.
No, I don't think they ever. I think they went over it. I think they didn't even go into it. From what I gather, that should have happened already. I could be
Okay.
wrong. I think because
I'm
it
gonna
should
stay
have happened
quiet.
this season.
Cliff,
I
have you even watched the season? I don't even think you watched the season yet, have you?
I have not. No.
Okay, we spoilers for the show Invincible. We blew up Planet Viltrum like 2 episodes ago, and
yeah,
Thrag's just like, I'm not leaving. And
yeah,
that was
yeah.
the
That's
end.
how it ends. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
ends where
summarized what point they. Yeah, I summarized where it was in the story by the Invincible chat. I was like, okay, I see where they're at now. All right, cool. I'm caught up.
it's funny.
That's
Because
what I would do when you guys would talk My Hero Academia. Be like, I know what they are. I did not
funny.
watch for the longest with Vigilantes, but I'm like, okay, I summarized it.
I got to. We're getting much closer to where I left off in Invincible. Much closer. We're very close now.
Yeah,
I just don't remember where I left off, more or less. I know it's probably going to be a next season at some point. Probably. Maybe. We'll see.
that'll be interesting. Will you read ahead or will you just go with the show?
I want to read ahead, right? Just right now.
Yeah.
We'll see. I would like to read ahead, but I don't know if I'll be able to. I don't even know when the next season comes out. What, next year at some point?
Kirkman said he wants it to be yearly, so I assume it's probably going to be like March of next year.
We might juice it because like where I'm at is close to the end, so like maybe he'll juice it out a little bit. Maybe become like there was like a couple episodes this year, like the one from Hell or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't remember that shit at all. I don't think that was
This
in the book.
this season, yeah, that wasn't in the book. That was an anime only, technically.
Okay.
Um, the Invincible show is apparently halfway through the story. We ended on issue 77.
Okay.
And Cliff said there's what 149 or so.
Yeah, I'm like in the
Yeah,
hundreds, but I
129
don't know
to be
where.
exact.
I think I'm in the teens, 100 something.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't
so
remember.
you're almost at the end there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm far. I just don't know. I'm not at the end. I just know I'm close to the end.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But shout out to animation for keeping up with like yearly releases. Like it's crazy that like anime
It took a while to get there.
shows, yeah, it's weird. Like
And
they're the shows
you
that's
still got
giving us
people
our
complaining.
yearly content.
Yeah.
Man, there's always gonna be that. Oh, and I forgot to mention in terms of crossovers, Image Comics issue 20 of G.I. Joe, Duke and Optimus Prime finally meet. So like even that's happening in terms of like crossover. Like it's taking 20 issues to happen.
That's what I was
here.
gonna say. I started reading them both, and it took forever for them to cross over. So I'm like, I'll get back to it. I was like, I want that movie. That's why when they teased them in the movie, and now we're never gonna get it. It really hurts my soul.
Paramount gonna give it to us. Don't worry about it.
They're bullshitting right now. That's not gonna be the next movie.
It'll be from Paramount though. Do we want that?
Have you ever read Void Rivals? That's the other book that's part of Energon universe.
Nah.
It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay. I read like the first.
At this point, after having read Walking Dead and Invincible, I was like, Kirkman, I don't know if you're gonna give me anything as great as these two books.
It's not.
Like,
as
so like I have your
at
writing,
least
but
not to me. But it's not as entertaining as the other stuff.
Interesting. I want us to talk about Milestone in the Dakota Incident because we've gone all across the multiverse with various different lines and comic books and crossovers. And this is technically a crossover, which is why I wanted to throw this in here at this point in the conversation, because we bring the Milestone characters back in this History of the DC Universe book. And I freaking loved the story. I loved how we kind of like retroactively fit these characters into DC canon proper. It's weird because Milestone has been a part of DC Comics off and on for like the last 30 years. And so it's like Static's there and then he's not. And now it's not canon, but he is. And I think this was a very great like retcon of their history. And I really want to see more of where we leave Static specifically. But like just seeing Icon, Rocket, like all these other characters from that verse be reintroduced and how the rest of the DC universe reacts to the Dakota Incident. Cliff, you read this most recently. Joel and I read it when it came out, but you missed it by like a month or so. What were your thoughts when you read this issue of basically this milestone one shot, I guess.
Yeah, I felt all the emotions. I was angry, I was happy, I was sad, I was pissed off. Uh, I kind of loved how they retroactively or retcon the reason why the milestone characters haven't popped up for decades at this
Yeah.
point, or however long the current DC continuity is, whatever and whatnot. And I appreciate the ending. Is like we can kind of get a static book, maybe. It right. Fingers crossed it might happen, but like cool. But I also just love the actual story and just like, oh, even our colored heroes, our beautiful black and brown heroes don't get much praise, And so yeah, great book, wonderful story. Just I want more. And I was hesitant to buy this book, mind you,
Why?
because of past. Because I knew, okay, a part of me was like, this isn't going to lead anywhere. Like, okay, it's Black History Month, cool, yay, y'all do this every year. Nothing is going to happen. So like, why do I need to buy this? It literally wasn't until the push of like, hey, pre-order this book so DC Comics can know that like, yes, we want more of this. It's like, all right, cool. I bought my copy and I was like, I'll pick it up next month when I go to the comic book store and read it. Then I got my first issue, cool, great. But yeah, that's kind of just my current.
You were gonna boycott and just lead to nowhere. Is that what the mindset was?
Pretty much. I was just gonna be like, because like I'm not even reading a lot of main like DC stuff. Like I was present when all 6 issues of Black Lightning dropped. I bought every issue month to month. I was there, and I have nothing to prove.
Man said I was there when it was written, and you guys betrayed me.
I was there when Milestone had a small reboot. It had Static Season 1, Static Season 2, Crime Syndicate, and Hardware. Like I was present. I spent my money.
The naming convention of that was so bad to me. It's like, why are we calling it Static Season 1 like it's a TV show? That was so weird. I did not understand that. I think it was my brain is in like editor mode right now. Like the SEO of that is the optics is terrible because if you Google Static Season 1, the show is gonna pop up, not the comic book.
Yeah.
And it's not even called Static Shock. That's the funny thing. Like it's terrible optics.
Yeah. But Joel, what did you think of the history of the? Because I know you read the other history of the DC universe as well. Yeah. I haven't yet. Yeah. What's this entire like situation with these books anyway? Why do they do these?
Why? It takes because of what happened with the whole New 52 and then the Rebirth, and there was a lot of what is real, what's not, and why he disappeared and why he came back. So the narrator of the history of the new DC universe is Barry Allen, because he's been there through all of most of it. So he's the one telling the story in the book. And there's 4 issues, and you get right away like it's really cool. I really enjoyed it because there's like, aside from the fact that like now Wonder Woman, the JSA Wonder Woman, like now the World War II Wonder Woman, is not Diana anymore. It's
is that Hippolyta?
Hippolyta. It's Hippolyta.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So and they just did a JSA Year 1 comic that I bought that. I was reading that too. She's Hippolyta in that book.
Okay. I actually like that. I really like that change. Actually, that's cool.
It's different, but yeah, they did that. One of the things that they mentioned in the beginning of the book was that because they go over like what's happening from like obviously the beginning of like their time on, and one of the things they mentioned is Icon when he lands and comes to Earth, and they're like, so Milestone is part of the universe canon. All right, now they're officially back. Because that's the first thing that they talk about with Icon. Yeah. One of the first things they talk about. Because obviously that happened. He landed, I forget when, Jim Crow era, that time, I'm assuming.
Yep.
So that
whenever America was racist.
So the very beginning.
So that during that time period he landed, they do mention it in the book. They gloss over more or less what happens, like what we read. They don't go into detail of what happened. But the incident happened. They go over certain things with that, but that's why I guess it got its own book, so they can go into more detail over what happened, and they give you like this explaining that gap of what happened to them for so long is how they penciled them into the universe proper. Yeah. Because if they wanted to, they could have just kept it separate and didn't have to do that. But because now they're part of the new DC universe proper, they got their own spinoff, which explaining everything, which I loved. I actually really loved that one issue. It was nice seeing Static. Unfortunately, I don't Like I read when they had the new comics come out with Static, it was Icon and Rocket, it was Hardware and Blood Syndicate. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I was reading all. I was trying to read all of them. It was tough, and I think there were other ones, but I didn't get to read those. Those are all four I definitely read. But I was trying to keep up with them as best I could because I was happy that they were back and I support as much as I could. Because I feel like I hate the fucking are they in, are they out type of shit for so long.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's try to stay consistent, leave them aimed. So we could get, because everyone knows Static wanted Static. I love that Young Justice incorporated Static instead of going with Black Vulcan. I'm like, thank fucking God, I hated that shit anyway. So that was very clever on their part. Most of the writing in Young Justice was very clever in my opinion. But I loved what they did with the new, the what was it called? The name of the comic, the Dakota Incident.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love how they penciled it in right at the time when Lex was president, because I remember that avidly because I was reading Public Enemies at the time.
Yes. That time period also I think also is funny because it coincides with like the debut of the Static Shock animated series as well.
Was it? Holy shit!
Because Static was like what 2003 or so.
Yeah.
So I think it's also in like a meta sense, it's like when Static stopped being a part of the DC universe proper, like being that
was
DC.
Y2K.
Was it?
The anime series
in the year 2000. Yep.
Yeah, so
I know it wasn't far off. I know that much because I remember him conniving with the Justice League, but that was later because that was around closer to 03. So maybe that happened later when the crossover. Because the Static lasted for how many seasons?
It lasted for like
4. I'm looking at it right now on Google.
Okay, so then maybe those crossovers happened in the last season.
Yeah, and then he shows up in Justice League and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but
older Static. I loved those episodes.
Yeah,
it was cool. And now we're that's why I'm really
Public Enemies for Joel.
Beyond book. Oh yeah,
yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Public Enemies. That's Jefferson was the
2003,
fucking Secretary of Education. Amanda Waller was what was she the?
Everything.
I forgot what she was.
She was probably Secretary of Defense or something.
Yeah, she was something. Yeah. I just remember Lex kissing her because he was like on like a fucking he like dosed himself up with some type of kryptonite steroid. It was crazy, and he just grabbed her and kissed her. She's like, "What the fuck?" It was crazy.
Yeah, but like I do like how we kind of penciled this in DC history around the time Static and Milestone kind of stopped being a part of DC canon, and so it's kind of like that's unique, but it also explains why they weren't in these stories with like Damian Wayne showing up in the New 52 and blah 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 going forward. So I think that was kind of clever on their part. I do, because one of the big things online is that DC has been mistreating their black characters a lot of late, and I wonder if do we need to give them time, because like Joel said, they didn't have to do this reintegrating into the universe thing. Do we just need to say, hey, they did it, it was successful, clearly they probably have a lineup, set up, like they clearly have Static off to do something. Should we give them that room and say, hey, next year we're going to get a Static book, allegedly? Or do we still be like, oh, like Cliff was saying, this is obviously not going to lead anywhere because we've done this before.
I'll let y'all answer first because I have a more heated response for it.
I don't know. I kind of just go with the flow, so I don't really know whatever comes. I hope they last, or if it doesn't, I'm like, I kind of saw that.
It's all speculation, but a part of me is like, I see the online like vitriol and anger and hate, and I fully understand it. I'm not saying it's not justified. I'm just wondering, do we make a book called The History of the DC Universe, specifically about these set of characters, and just not do anything about it? That's where I'm like, something's got to be in the pipeline, right?
And went for a second printing, so you're like, oh, there's obviously some type of backing behind it. It had some legs. People were talking. I do think something comes out of it. I don't know what. Hopefully, it is a Static solo and maybe others, but definitely Static to start at the very least.
All right, Cliff, get on the soapbox. Go off. What was yours, King?
Let me wax poetic real quick. But no, the only way because I agree with y'all. Like maybe something could be in the pipeline, but arguably, and this is just me with the tinfoil hat. I don't have the actual numbers to back it up or like sales
Sure.
numbers, but that arguably could just be because of the response that we all made with this first issue. Because there's no telling if there was a plan for this to go on the second printing. Even with that, like there was barely any promotion for this one shot, even though we had, the new DC history books being written by Mark Waid and Chris Samney, two iconic like artist pairings. And I've seen the pushes for this new history, and like I've only seen a few commercials for the Dakota Incident. So sure, like we can wait because one, we don't even have we don't have a choice, but two, like we can't storm the DC offices and be like,
I
hey,
mean, we
we're
can.
static. I mean, we can, but like
We've stormed the DC offices for way less. We're
As I
still
say-
hashtag waiting for the Snyderverse to come back. So.
right, and other people have actually stormed DC offices for more political reasons. So
Yeah.
but I don't know because looking at the landscape is just like, again, Black Lightning got 6 issues, Mr. Terrific got 4 for a limited series. I believe that's it in terms of Black and POC characters. And I'm also looking at this as like a post world before even DC All In had started, where Ram V was writing. I forgot the one book of East Asian character, the visual. That's what the book's called. We got that push.
Indians,
and then we
Sorry.
then we got the AAPI month book series with I think it was Xanadu. She had the giant sword and whatnot. Like, we had these pushes for Black and POC characters to get these books and all that stuff. Like, we keep trying it, but it never gets to the success that we hope for. And then the Marvel side, we've got Storm, where her current, like, what's the current title of Storm's book? I know it's like Storm, something.
the like Earth's Mightiest Mutant, I think.
Yeah, Earth's Mightiest Mutant, like that. Yeah. They promote that book as an ongoing series, but that's also now a limited series. That's ending after like issue 6.
I think it's only 5 actually, right? I think 5 is the end.
Possibly. Either way, it's not an ongoing like they promised us,
Yeah.
or like they marketed or sold it to us. Bishop from the X-Men, he's getting a series that might be 4 issues. I'm going to pick up the comic just because it's Bishop, and I like his design and the idea, and I'm going to support it and whatnot. But like, I don't know. There's a demand for these characters. I'm sure a lot of us would put our money where our mouths are for these characters. It's just people behind it have to just invest.
It's one of those things where we were talking about Invincible earlier, right? Where it's like, I think we're underestimating, not us, but like the companies themselves are underestimating the value of putting these characters where people can see them and want to learn about them, and that will make them want to read the books. White Fox, right? Like Joel said earlier, is apparently in a book, and I didn't know she existed until, when did she launch in Marvel Rivals? Like 3 weeks ago?
Basically.
Is this the same White Fox from the Spider-Man animated show? Where it was like him,
That's
White
White
Fox, and
Tiger.
Iron Fist?
That's White Tiger.
Thank you.
Who is also in Daredevil, a version.
Yeah, a version of her. Yeah.
And so, but yeah, like putting these characters like Invincible, right? We've had the whole anime manga like conversation before, not on this show specifically, but My Hero Academia's anime, Attack on Titan's anime, Jujutsu Kaisen's anime exists to sell books. That's what most people just experience. They may not ever read the books, but like Jujutsu Kaisen's anime only exists to sell issues of Jujutsu Kaisen. And so maybe Warner Brothers needs to put a Static Shock show on HBO Max and run it for a season and just adapt the original book, or just tell an original story and then say, oh, by the way, Static #1 on shelves now. For these lesser known characters, you can say, because Batman will always just be Batman and Spider-Man will always be Spider-Man. But like, I think of like family members and relatives, and that's the same thing, family members and friends that don't like the X-Men that much because the X-Men movies didn't represent the X-Men very well, right? Like my mom thinks of Storm and she's just like, Storm's not that powerful. I saw Halle Berry, she could barely like command a tornado. And I'm like, but Storm is like the most OP character you would love Storm, and she doesn't know Comic Storm. And it's like
No, like, it
that's
hurts
where
me every time. My nieces don't like DC because they only can think of the DC movies, and
yeah,
I'm like, well, that's not fair to DC. Like,
right. It's like, and this is why Trayvon and I would like get into a quote unquote spat where it's like those DC movies did do damage. Even though you can like them, there are things I do like about them. They did change the public perception of those characters, right? And so
yeah,
X-Men
it hurt.
97, for example, one episode. Everybody loves Cyclops now. I remember when everybody was clowning Cyclops my entire life.
I'm still clowning
What?
Cyclops even with that.
Do not disrespect Batman's mentor like that.
Hey, look, he was great, but that was a great season of TV for Cyclops. I was hella impressed.
But yeah, like
he has his
one
own-
season, all of a sudden everybody's ride or die for Cyclops. He's in a Doomsday teaser, and everybody's like, "That's my dude." I'm like, "When were you a Cyclops fan? What are we doing?"
Yeah, he got his own solo.
And he has
now.
his own. I was about to say he has his own solo comic right now, which is crazy to think about. Cyclops has a comic book series right now, like
A
of all
solo
the-
series, not just an X-Men series too. That's
Right.
But that's my point of like, you need to do that for these Milestone characters, and Milestone has been in that weird limbo of DC doesn't really have the rights, so they can't really use them. We're in that state now where James Gunn is even like, I can't make a static thing yet. We've got to work out the legal issues, and it's like
That's
maybe the
annoying.
show is going to influence DC Comics instead of the other way around. I don't know. I'm going to stop ranting now, though.
I mean, I don't even know if it's a rant. It's go ahead, Joe.
No, I mean, my thing is, yeah, we all want Static, but it's not like Static's not the only black character. Like,
He's
it's
not,
just
but
like-
he's also their Milestone's most popular, I guess. So like, if you
No,
can't
and
make
you're
Static
right.
work, we can't make anything work, probably.
That's crazy to me. Like,
Yeah.
like I know
Or
for a
maybe we
long
need to go
time.
the MCU route.
Yeah,
We do
that's
Rocket
kinda,
and just let her fly, right?
just do skip icon. Like what?
we got enough Superman clones. We got to skip Icon for right now.
You're not wrong. I mean, there are plenty. But we did
But
we had
we
a
need
Black
Black
Lightning
Superman.
show. That's Blue Marvel. There's so many. It's crazy. Oh man, Superman gets cloned all the time and without actually being cloned.
And then he does get cloned.
and then that's not including his actual clones. So yeah, that's
Yep.
fair. But like Black Lightning had his own show. I know a lot of people wanted Static to show up on that, and then now if you look back, like there's no way he would have showed up because of the legal issues. There's no way they're gonna do. Even though that would have been cool to see Static on Black Lightning and see them interact.
Yeah.
And I think Black Lightning even had a little bit of an issue back in the day. That's why they created Black Vulcan for Super Friends. Because they couldn't use Black Lightning for some weird reason. Why is it always some type of legal issue with these Black Lightning characters? And not literally meaning the character, just in general, black
Yeah.
characters. Like, just,
Yeah.
it's just
That's going to be a
insane.
fun deep dive. I might do just like why is there so many legal issues when it comes to these historic black characters outside of Black Panther and Storm and Fields? Because I even argue that like Storm is probably the most well-known black comic book character before T'Challa got a movie. At least to like the general
now
public.
Black Panther. Before, yeah,
So-
probably. She's probably the most
Yeah.
famous Marvel female character. To be
She's
fair.
probably the most famous
Yeah.
female comic book character.
Yeah, well,
Well, Wonder Woman exists.
Wonder
Well,
Woman.
sure, yeah. I'll
after
give it to
Wonder
her.
Woman, maybe. Yeah.
Cliff,
That's
I know
fair.
you do not love Wonder Woman, but she did have a TV show in the 70s, man.
She had a lot.
She's been around.
She is a great character. There's a reason she is a staple. I would not deny that and whatnot. She has
Marvel
a
for a
theme
long
song.
time. Marvel did for a long time didn't have they had female representation, but they had no character that was close to Wonder Woman for a very, very long time. The
Yep.
closest thing was Storm, and she was part of the X-Men. So it's kind of
Yep.
hard to market her as a solo character when she was part of a team.
Jean Grey is in such a weird spot that folks don't even know her hero name. Like she was
That's a
supposed to be the
Marvel
premier
girl.
like Marvel girl, right? She's wearing the company brand as her name, and it's just like, yeah, but nobody likes her like that.
Yeah, no one even called her that. I don't remember the last time anybody called her Marvel Girl. That's crazy,
Yeah.
but facts.
So let me ask y'all a question, because it's also a funny thing about this now, because I was watching Across the Spider-Verse this morning with my nephew.
Great movie.
Yeah, very good.
Very long movie and kind of overstays its welcome, but great movie. Like I realized we're like an hour and 16 minutes, and I was like, y'all just told me two different stories that are just now converging, and we're just now getting to Spider-Man multiverse headquarters. I'm like, we still got a whole
Now
hour.
you
And
know
30
why
minutes
I was
left.
so mad when I got hit with a to be continued. It's like you can't throw all this at me and then say see you in 5 years. Bye.
Yeah, it's
I
weird.
know
It never. Yeah, it was crazy. I didn't notice until watching it this morning. I was like, wait, we started this at 7:30. Why is it only like 9:30, 10 o'clock? Like, why am I still here and whatnot? But yeah, it's just interesting. Like, since we all know the whole story behind Across the Spider-Verse and like Miles being the anomaly, and watching like just the iconography of Spider-Man, like the lore of Spider-Man being centered around this kid, half black, half Dominican is
Puerto
Miles.
Rican.
Puerto Rican, Hispanic, some okay.
Don't disrespect me, bro. Imagine.
But yeah, like seeing it all like centered around Miles, and because arguably outside of T'Challa, Miles is probably the most well-known black superhero right now. Like, yes, we all know Static, but to the general public nowadays, it's probably just Miles Morales and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
Because
so the
Magneto,
question,
which is my
yeah.
point.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I was about to ask, like,
Yeah.
so like, is that the best route for black and POC characters to even get I'll say 12-issue maxi. I'll be generous because they're not like Deathstroke has a new issue #1. Lobo, because he's about to be in a new movie, has an ongoing,
Yeah.
not a
But they're
miniseries, an
all.
ongoing.
We'll see how long.
Sure, like Lobo probably gonna get a solid 12 issues, maybe 20. Like he's not getting
Maybe
50
12.
issues and whatnot. I'd be a little more generous. It depends on
Jason Momoa is gonna
the
personally
audience.
fund Lobo. What are we doing, guys? He's gonna make sure it goes as long as he can keep it going.
Right.
That's fair. He made
You know.
Aquaman work.
So your question though is is this the only route? Is like
Not is it the only
movie
route? I guess more specifically, is this probably the best route?
yes.
It is the best, even if it's not always the best route. Because look, Blue Beetle had his own movie, but because it didn't get marketed, I think enough as for kids, it didn't sit as much.
Right. Where is the new Blue Beetle issue 1? I know we got 12 issues behind me, but where is?
I think the
his
Blue
world is
Beetle
all in?
problem is that also came out when the DC EU was dying.
Oh yeah.
And so many people were just like, I'm not gonna go watch that because that universe doesn't exist anymore. And James Gunn has been weird because he's like, Jolo is going to play Jaime Reyes, but he has not really said that movie is canon.
Right.
And so
I don't think it will be canon. Technically, it'll be just like
supposed to get an animated show.
Right, we're supposed to get an animated show with
that,
Zolo as voicing Blue Beetle.
But clearly he about to pop up in season 3 of One Piece, so he's not gonna have time to record these.
Well, that show is not anywhere near development anymore. Like we at least have like a still image of Mr. Miracle. We ain't seen none from Blue Beetle. That's probably still a year off.
He'll
anyway.
be done. He's
that's fair.
Yeah.
Which again, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Of all the characters to get a TV series, Mr. Freaking Miracle, before anyone else gets an ongoing series, this character, the most unknown character to ever exist in DC Comics, and yeah, I'm the biggest Mr. Miracle fan to exist, so I can say
Peacemaker will say something to that. I mean,
I will say Mr. Miracle is more known than Peacemaker up until the
now, maybe not now.
Well, yeah, maybe now.
Yeah.
But even still, it's just amazing. Like he's getting an animated show before, arguably more iconic characters.
Oh man, 100%.
Well,
100%.
That's James Gunn in a nutshell, right? Because he made a show about Peacemaker, or he wanted to do a Suicide Squad sequel, and it has who was Bloodsport? Is that his name? Who was Idris Elba played in that movie?
Bloodsport.
Yeah, like. All right, he could have played Slade. He could have just been a recast Deadshot, but like, no, we're gonna just go do another niche character.
Yeah, and he kept it a secret for so long too.
Yep.
Which, to be fair to that version, I feel like they just found well, I can't say they got lucky, but I feel like somehow they found a way to just be like, hey, this feels like it would have been a Suicide Squad 2. Will Smith is Deadshot, but we got lucky that Bloodsport also exists. So we can literally make
He's got the coolest gun I've ever seen in a movie, by the way.
But that's what I think he was supposed to be Deadshot, but they wanted to keep it as more of a pseudo sequel than a reboot.
Yeah.
So they didn't use Deadshot because they couldn't get Will Smith back. So
Mhm.
they went with Idris, and because he was originally when they originally announced him, he was announced as Deadshot, or at least in the trades.
Yeah.
So once we find out that they went in a different direction, they're gonna go. All right, we're gonna. He didn't tell us anything because even on set they had his shit written as Vigilante.
Oh
They
wow.
were he kept it a secret until Comic Con, where it was revealed, and some eventually he revealed it himself. But I'm talking about earlier that day. It was that he's Bloodsport, and he just took a random ass fucking Superman villain or anybody that's similar to Deadshot and like I could just use him. I don't need to use Deadshot. If I don't need to. They want to keep Will Smith attached. Cool, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Now he's in charge. It's a little different, but
Yeah, this was the
then
era where we didn't know what was going to happen, so maybe we could have got a DCEU Suicide Squad 3, and we could have had Will Smith back, but now we're in the DCU, and continuity is vastly different. But,
right,
yeah, Mr. Miracle getting an animated show, it's... We know that James Gunn is a huge fan of Tom King's work. That's why he's in the
right.
writer's room, and he's, like, a part
Oh
of
yeah,
the brain
he's
trust there.
everywhere.
Yeah. He's producing Lanterns. Like,
Yeah,
He's the
everybody
on the
ninja
just...
writing.
challenge.
Yeah.
without the same level of power, but yeah.
Yeah. But and that's my point is that if Mr. Miracle can get a show, why I get the legal issues we have with Milestone that we have to work out, but I feel like Milestone should be like, yeah, do another Static show. Let's get this Static movie going. Michael B. Jordan was attached to produce. Let Michael B. Jordan, coming off his Oscar, produce a freaking Static movie. You know?
What happened there? That's about like they're never gonna tell us. But like, what happened there? They were on a trajectory. They were announced it at the DC, whatever the fuck it was called at the time.
DC
the first
Fandom.
Fandom. That was a big thing, and then it disappeared. I know there was a lot of change. Like there was, I think it was bought. It's been bought twice since then. Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers
so many
was-
legal. Yeah.
Warner Brothers was bought by, because at the time it was still AT&T. Warner Brothers was bought by Discovery, and they became Warner Brothers Discovery, and then DC Studios was created, and I'm sure the entire slate of DC movies got thrown out, and I'm sure that means Milestone has to now renegotiate with DC Studios instead of Warner Brothers, and how all that works. And now we've got to
And
fit
then the whole Netflix and Paramount stuff is happening, that's
Right.
going to change it again.
Right.
Like, so again,
Which is-
the Black POC characters keep getting caught in all the disarray.
Yeah.
And
Essentially,
Batman,
Milestone,
he's
at
shining
best,
along.
they probably want to go independent at this point. Maybe just do their own thing to
on
get
media,
consistency.
on the media side, it wouldn't be terrible.
Hey,
idea.
A24, what are y'all doing? Since y'all doing Elden Ring, buy the rights to these movie characters from Milestone and get started.
But-
like,
I think this creates a larger issue, and we can wrap this up. I know we've been going for a while, but I feel like the larger issue isn't even the Milestone thing. Why does DC's entire catalog of black characters have to come from Milestone? Something that they don't even
That's
actually
what I mean.
own.
They don't have to.
They need to have their own black characters in their own continuity
They
besides
have
Jon
black
Stewart, right?
You have Mr. Terrific. Obviously,
Yeah.
I heard they might want to do a show with him. Perfect. They have John Stewart Green Lantern, who obviously has his own show coming. They have Black Lightning. They can go back to Black Lightning. They already did Black Lightning. They can go back to it. Not like it's that serious.
Vixen, I think, would be sick.
Yeah, Vixen would be awesome. I would love to see Vixen in anything. Give me more Vixen.
Yeah.
Just show my Steel. I mean, that could
Get Aldous
spin off
Hodge back as
Superman.
Hawkman,
still
bro.
not getting his character.
I loved Aldous Hodge as Hawkman. I just love Hawkman in general. So anything Hawkman, I'm cool with.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many characters that can. Cyborg with the Titans. If you do the Titans, Cyborg has to be there. So it's like
Does he?
stuff like that. Yes,
Dude, let me not start that conversation.
bro. We
That's
started
a
like
whole-
20
that's
years
a whole
of this
nother
bullshit
episode.
of him on the Justice League. I don't know. I'm not
The
going
Justice
through that
League's
again.
tech guy is Batman. Let Cyborg be
Stop
on the
it.
Titans.
Come on, man. I
Split
just
with the
went
Doom
on the
Patrol.
DC
He's far more
website.
engaged. Do that again.
I mean, if
What
you want
was
to
it
Doom
called?
Patrol, that's cool too. But also, he's a
I
Titan
can't.
more than a Justice.
He's a
League.
Titan, bro. He's a Titan. Stop it. The fact that he went in live action, introduced as a member of the League, and then a member of the Doom Patrol, and the Titans had their own live action show, and he wasn't there at all, is a fucking
It
travesty.
says something.
Listen,
Yeah,
maybe it
it's
was a
stupid.
blessing in
That's what it
disguise. Maybe we kept my boy Vic off that monstrosity of a show.
Maybe, but he existed in the same universe. He shows up in the last season anyway.
That's fair. That show made some weird choices. I'm never gonna forgive them what they did to Garth and Donna.
Actually, their version of Cyborg wasn't bad. Doom Patrol.
Yeah, Doom Patrol was actually good. I didn't
Doom Patrol
watch.
was a
I
good
didn't
show.
finish it, but like I watched a good
Yeah.
chunk of it.
Doom Patrol was a good show, actually.
And I guess that's my point though, is that Doom Patrol and Mr. Miracle and like all these other characters who are niche can show up, and it's like, get Vixen on the schedule. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Show.
that's where I'm standing. Where it's like,
Show.
the milestone
Me.
legal battle is annoying and will always be problematic, probably, but that's still not a great excuse. And so DC, to answer all of the questions, they don't really have an excuse. And Marvel saves face because they will give Cable a little miniseries, and Storm will get a 5-issue little
Bishop.
run, and Bishop, excuse me, a 5-issue run, and it's like, see, we still have things that we're releasing, but they aren't getting like full runs and titles, and
Yeah.
you know, it's just like, okay, it still sucks.
There's not
but
a-
it's better than the other guy who does nothing, I guess.
But there's no Black Panther title happening right now in Marvel at all.
Which is
After
crazy.
that Imperial Black Panther, nothing.
Yeah, that's currently the only one, right? Imperial.
Because the Ultimate
That is
Universe, which we never got to, but the Ultimate Universe is ending, so Ultimate Black
Yeah.
Panther is no longer a thing
I never read that.
and whatnot.
Joel never read it. I didn't read enough of it, and we talked for so long. I'm like, that sucks that they ended it. People enjoyed it. They didn't have to do it, but Marvel doesn't really care. They don't have to care.
They brought the Ultimate Universe back and ended it within like 2 years.
Yeah, and they could have just said, "Hey, this is a limited event."
Started.
They could have just said, "This is a limited event." They didn't. They could have just said, "We're going to do this for a year and be done." But the creators are like, "We have some more stories we can tell," and Marvel just doesn't want to. It's like, oh, okay.
Well, sorry. Not too late.
Well,
Back. Yeah, because really, if you look at it, DC right now has nothing ongoing aside from his combo book with Batman, Static and Batman.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like, there really is nothing else.
Yeah, Birds of Prey ended like almost a few months ago. And Vixen was a member of the team for the last like
for a
half
small
of that
bit,
book.
yeah, towards the end of it,
Yeah.
yeah. There's not. I mean, there's a whole bunch of characters in Justice League. Obviously, the current absolute Green Lantern is the lead is a girl, and it's a black girl, lesbian black girl.
we put all the wokeisms over on the other universe.
Yeah.
In the dark world, mind you, in the offshoot, the stuff that doesn't technically matter.
In the universe that was created by the devil himself. That's where we get a Blacklight comic.
All the black
I'm sorry,
and queer stuff is in the dark side.
Did you see the author of Absolute Wonder Woman? Like, somebody was asking, like, will we ever see like this queer representation of Diana in the mainline continuity? And she was just like,
Nope.
Just be happy that we're doing it over here, all right? don't push too hard.
DC is loving Tom King writing Wonder Woman right now, so that ain't happening. Kelly Thompson writing Wonder Woman in main continuity? Nah, we're not getting that. Stephanie Williams writing it? Nah.
We started off so strong, and then we ended on like, dang, I'm so mad now.
Hey, read comics, people. They're great. They're wonderful.
They're great and problematic. Yeah. Had a blast. Joel, what you got going on? Where can the folks find you?
Basically, I am. We've been very quiet on the What Much Ado About Nothing channel lately. I think the most recent thing was our NFL draft coverage, which we did Thursday.
Yes.
It was like 3 hours long, but it was fun. We had a good time. Can't complain. And hopefully we get back to doing more stuff soon. We have a lot of news to catch up on, and I have some stuff NBA-wise that I want to get to eventually. If I can mentally get through this postseason, I'll get to it. And there's some stuff I have in mind. I've been kind of lazy with it, but hopefully I can get to like certain shows that I want to produce. And I can get towards that eventually. But that's basically it. But you could find me on basically just Twitter and Instagram. It's at Joel_J27.
Awesome. I'm gonna have all that linked in the description as well. Cliff, where can the folks find you online? I know it's gonna be impossible almost because you're nowhere, but
I mean, pretty much, unless you're like just my personal friends like y'all and whatnot, and you would know like my letterbox and like League Comic Geeks. But you can find me here or like chat after if we ever decide to like talk about Devil Wears Prada 2 or like Avengers and whatnot coming up and whatnot. We'll probably plan to talk about Spider-Man or something and whatnot. But
Devil
yeah,
Wears
other than
Prada
that,
episode. I didn't even think about. Hold on, let's add that to the schedule.
which is
I
crazy.
gotta get
Which
Trayvon
is
on
crazy. We gotta get Trayvon and Nate specifically
that one. Yes.
just to talk
You
about
guys
it
have fun.
and whatnot. Oh, Joel, you gotta join us. It's spectacular movies, like top
I
tier,
don't
top
get
tier
it.
filmmaking.
Like it.
It's the peak chick
Which is
flick,
fair.
man. What can I say?
It's the
Gotcha.
peak, just cinema. You know,
Sure.
I
That
don't know.
okay.
I
All right. Hold on. Peak cinema, a little too far, but it's a good
Look,
movie.
Meryl
It's a good
Streep.
watch. It's a good watch.
Thanos would be nothing against Meryl Streep. Like I would love to see him try and snap his fingers against her. Okay,
This
All right.
reminds me of what I said on the Geekly Good stream. We were reviewing Invincible, and Debbie and Nolan go to check on Oliver, and then Thrag shows up in the finale. I'm like, you notice that Thrag didn't show his face until he knew Debbie Grayson was off world. There's only one person in the universe that scares Thrag, and that is the wrath of an angry mother.
That's it. That's fair.
But no, this was
Scary.
fun, guys. If you enjoyed this, give us a like, subscribe. We're doing these monthly. We also have other stuff throughout the weeks, though, on the channel. So make sure you check out those other shows where we're talking movies, TV, and now comics on Chatter After. Until next time. I usually say keep watching movies, but I guess now I have to say keep reading comics.
That's a good one. I like that.
Peace.
As they should, bro. You know.